ask you is, you know, I feel like becoming a mother, I was taking all the classes, doing all the things, and some classes didn't do nothing. Like, it's something that I feel like you can think you know, and then that baby show up, and it's like, girl, you have no idea. But you kind of just answered it. I wanted to know, did you feel like that prepared you for becoming a mother?
Not now, yes. Then I wasn't even trying to be prepared. It was just I wanted to make some money. I felt like I was good at this, but once I got booed up, it was like, listen, I'm sorry, ma'am, I don't have time.
I don't have
the
time
business
for this.
went away because it was like she like, can you be? No, I'm about to be with my boo. So that's when it kind of, as long as I was single and, you know, it was cool for me, but I wasn't trying to prepare. At that particular time, I wasn't trying to prepare. But in hindsight, yes, it definitely prepared me for just knowing that you're going to have to delegate some help. Please know that, like, you don't have to do it on your own. You know, you don't have to feel ashamed to hire some helps, a nanny. And please believe, send me your resume because I probably might look at it.
Listen, like, the support and I feel that is very much so like a Black woman thing that and I think it's a cultural thing because other cultures of people, like when you have a kid, the moms come in, you know, the village literally surrounds you and lightens the load. But for us, we feel like we got to be strong, we got to be superhuman, we have to do all the things ourselves, and asking for help, even not even necessarily hiring help, just asking for help. Sometimes it makes us feel like we're less than, like we should be able to do it all because most of the time we saw our moms doing it all.
Yeah, and sometimes I think I don't know if it's necessarily that we just think like, no, I don't need no help. I think it be who do you have to help you? I think that in our community it's so like every man for himself a lot of times that maybe you just don't have help accessible, you know, or even if you like when a person don't want to ask for help, it's typically because they feel like the person that they were going to ask is going to say no. That they don't have
depend on somebody.
Yeah. So if you feel like you have somebody dependable, or if you have that extra money, I would like to think that, you know, you gonna be like, I don't care what nobody got to say, you hire, you know, you're gonna do it. So I think a lot of us just, you know, we're just not afforded the opportunity. That's the opportunity. That's a blessing to be able to, you know, either have people in your corner to have a village. Some people don't have a village, you know, and if they do feel like they have one, they probably got to rethink of who that village is, because when they need those people, they not there like that. And I think that, like, even like my mother, she didn't really have a village, and she was tired, and she was mean. Mama, I love you, but she was mean, and it was because she was tired. If she had a little ounce of help, she would have probably been a lot more pleasant.
Been a different experience.
Yeah.
We talked about that, I think last week, on last week's episode, we talked about realizing that our mothers are women, like our human beings. They're not just our mothers who we put up on these pedestals, because a lot of times our childhood experience, all of the time, our childhood experience is very much so a result of what they're going through. But we're just kids, so we don't know what they're going through. And then we grow up and we like, well, wait a minute. You know, when I realized, you know, the marriage that my mother was in, and that was adding to like her mental stress, which she was passing on to me because she was mad. You know, she was mad a lot of the time. I don't know if she was really tired, but she was mad. And her madness turned into meanness, which you don't understand as a kid because you're just a kid.
Exactly. And I mean, mine was mad, mean.
All the things.
She was all the things. And when I say tired, I think it was just tired of probably my daddy. She was tired of her job. She was tired of having 3 kids, and she started having kids when she was 15. You get what I'm saying? So she was just with no support.
Right.
So I mean, I had my kids 10 years later, you know, than what she did, and I had support, and she was a support to me. My mother, when I had my son,
I was gonna say, she redeeming herself now as a
for
granny?
sure.
Okay.
No, and that's how I know. That's where you can see. That's the telltale sign, because it's like you were like this with us, but as a granny, my kids are like, she the best thing since sliced bread, you know. And I can see the difference, but she doesn't have as much pressure.
Right.
She doesn't have as much that she carrying on her back, you know. And on top of that, like she said it, like, you know, like what she grew up through, her past, then what she was going through when she was raising us, all of that was a lot. And I sat there and I was like, Mom, I really forgive you, because I used to like be like, I don't like her. Like I used to feel like
that sometimes. Me and my therapist, we still working through it.
Through that, girl. I mean, it's real though. It's real that you could feel like that, you know, but at the end of the day, I think that I had grew to see, like, when I dug into my mom, we had conversations about how she grew up, the generational curses, like how her mom was with her. How my grandmother, like, you know, she would still be saying, my grandma about was 80 years old maybe, and she be like, my mama, I'm the only one she gave up. Saying that, like, she had a great, like, her grandparents did great with her, but I think for her to be 80 years old and still saying she the only one, that was a dagger in her heart.
Yep.
You know, and that not having that relationship with her mother, and then my mother didn't have a real good relationship with her mother. When it came down to me, we was on that track, because I was like, look here, lady, I don't know who you think I am.
You know, but I feel like the great grandmas, they were just, I mean, thank God we didn't have like social media back then and people didn't really know what was going on. You kept your business to yourself, because I think the traumas that were passed on, the things that were done that's just like ingrained in our grandmas and our mothers, and then it kind of trickled down to us. I think we are blessed for sure that we're able to recognize these things and have these revelations so that we don't involuntarily, you know, do what was done to us to our children.
I ain't gonna even lie though.
You be doing it?
No, I ain't. No. I was about to say, probably if social media was around when great grandma, they would have had a little outlet, maybe. But they probably wouldn't have wanted to use. I don't know. Maybe
the secrecy is deep in the Black family.
I know, but that's why I'm thinking, like, maybe if social media was around, you know, everybody want to be transparent. But they probably wouldn't have took the opportunity. They was like, that's a setup. That's a setup. Because
Big
they
Mama
wouldn't have.
was a big mess.